This is our all nutrient swatch book, and this is a wealth of information. We're throwing a lot of information at you today. If you forget any of it, most of it is right here in this book. So let's go through it. Of course, you have your swatches, and it's going to go through every single series, which are our color collections from levels 1 through 10. You also have your super light series at the top. These are going to be your high lift blonde shades, and some of these series have them, like the gold has its own super lift. You'll also see at the bottom the accent colors. These are our pure pigments. They don't have a level, they're just pure tone. So there's some for the primary colors and for the secondary colors, so gold, copper, red, etc. Now on the sides of the swatch book, you have all the information that we are going to talk about. You have your color wheel, your natural pigment contribution, you've got processing times, you have little tips and tricks, you have a filling chart in the back here for when you're pre-pigmenting hair. Anything you could want to know about, it's in here. Even how to cover gray, you've got it all. So this is an excellent resource, and you want to make sure that you always have this at your back bar. Don't just look at it for the swatches, really take advantage of all the information when you're mixing up your color. Another resource you want to have, which is also in the book, is your color wheel. Now this is so important to have a printout of in your salon, and let me show you why. Let's look at the Auburn Series. So this is a swatch straight from the book. Now stylists, we think we know color left and right. We can look at that and tell exactly what's in it, right? So this says it's a warm natural base. So I would look at that and I'd say, okay, I see some red, maybe I see some copper, but when I go and look at my color wheel and I find Auburn, Auburn is actually in between red and red violet, not the red and copper that I would have assumed from looking at the swatch. So we can't just trust the swatches, we have to actually look at the color wheel so we can formulate properly. If I had just gone with my gut, I would have formulated for red and copper when really I need to formulate for that underlying red and violet. Another example would be if you're toning. If you do a high lift blonde or use lightener to get highlights and you get them to a level 9 or 10 and there's some yellow, you want to get rid of that yellow, right? So you think, well, to get rid of yellow, I'll use the Cool Series because it's cool. But if you look on your color wheel, the Cool Series is in blue. And we know that blue cancels out orange, not violet. So if we have someone with, cancels out orange, not yellow. Violet is going to cancel out yellow. So if we were to take that Cool Series, because we were just kind of going on our gut and putting it on top of yellow hair, we would make green. We would have chosen wrong because we didn't consult the color wheel. So always check your color wheel, make sure you know exactly what tones you are putting on the hair, and that's going to help you formulate. You also want to have your natural pigment contribution chart handy. This is so important when you formulate because these are the tones that you're going to be working with as you lift hair. So you can see for every single level, it'll show you what tones are left inside the hair. So let's say you're lifting to a level 5 or a level 6, you're going to be dealing with a lot of red. So you know you're going to have to either cancel that red out, or if you're enhancing the red, you know that there's red that you're going to be working with already. So if we're lifting to, let's say, an 8, we've got gold and we have orange to contend with. So I know anytime I use an 8, if I want to get rid of that orange, I need to put some form of blue in there. If you're lifting to a level 10 or 9, you have yellow to deal with. And by the same token, if you're trying to add color to the hair, let's say someone wants to be a level 6. So we're dealing with red. They want a little bit of red, but they don't want to go overboard. So if you say, okay, I'm going to take you to a level 6, and you don't take this red into account, you might put too bright of a red on their hair because their hair is already going to pull red. It's already giving you that gift of red. So you don't need to add too much. So always take these tones into account. These are going to be added to your formula anytime you're going to these levels. So between the natural pigment contribution chart and your color wheel, you should be able to plan for any colors that are going to pop up in your formula accurately. So now let's go through the entire color wheel. We'll go through the whole line from start to finish. You can follow along with your own color wheel here. So again, you'll see on here that we have the series. Anytime you see a series, that means a color collection. So this right here is our Slate Series, our Cool Series, and so on. The series just mean color collections. We also have the accents, and you'll see these at the primary and secondary colors. And again, the accents are these pure tones right here. They're just color, they don't have a level. Everything in the series has a level. So these are just going to be color that you can add into your formulas. We also have the super light shades, and these are basically like a level 11. You'll see these right above the 10 on each series. Now in the center of your color wheel, you'll notice we have a natural series and a neutral series. Now these are blends of all the colors put together. Our natural series, right here, is the basic N series. So these are just a blend of all the colors, but they do lean slightly yellow. And that's to help give you a little bit extra gray coverage. It gives the hair a little bit of life, so it doesn't have that kind of mousy look that's just a basic N. So it has a tiny hint of yellow to it. Now the neutral series, you'll see is right next to natural, but it leans slightly blue. Now the purpose of the neutral series is to kind of counteract that warmth. We all have that client who hates any shred of warmth in their hair. They don't want to see it. Even if they're standing in sunlight, they don't want it at all. The neutral is great for those clients because it's going to cut out any little bit of warmth and be a really true neutral color. So let's start up here and we'll go all the way around. We're going to start with our gold series. So that is our yellow toned color, and you can see it's purely in the yellow. As we move towards yellow-orange, we have the Tobacco series, which is a more natural yellow copper, and then the Sun series, which is a brighter version of those similar shades. It has this beautiful gold and copper shade to it. The Intense Copper series is our brightest copper, so that's moving straight towards the orange. That's for your bright, fiery, they want that bright Emma Stone copper hair. Next, we move into red-orange, where we'll have the red-orange accent and the red copper series. So these do pack a lot of punch. They've got lots of vibrant tone to them, but you can see that the Intense Copper series is much brighter. Now we're heading down into the reds, and we have beautiful shades of red in All Nutrient. We have the Ruby series, which is our true red. And as we head into red and red violet, we have the Auburn, which is a more natural red violet tone. It's more brown. And then the Scarlet series, which is a really vivid, vibrant red violet. We also have the Mahogany series, which veers more towards violet. And again, that's a very natural series. So you can see it has that red violet tone for sure, but it's very natural. And then the Burgundy series is a little bit brighter. So we've got kind of a red for every occasion. Your clients that just want that little whisper of red in their hair, they don't want it to be screaming bright. And then the people who want to be very bold, very bright. Now, as we head into a true violet, we have the Ice Mocha and the Beige series. Now your Ice Mocha are your medium shades. This goes from a 5 to a 7. So these are your kind of middle of the road, kind of brownishy violet shades. And then your Beige series are going to be your lighter shades. These are great for toning. They've got a nice violet tone to them. It's great for getting rid of yellow, but these are the lighter end of the spectrum. As we head in towards blue violet, I love these colors. This is the Eggplant series. This is deep, deep violet to blue violet. And these are for your bolder clients. It's definitely not a shrinking into the back of the room kind of color. These are going to be your bright, bold violets. Next up is the Pearl series. So this is a blue violet tone. This is excellent for getting rid of brassiness in the hair. The Pearl is really good for those lighter shades. I use it all the time for toning highlights. And then the Cool series, which we talked about before, is a true blue. This is excellent for toning out that orange. And then we head into the Slate series, which is blue-green. So the Slate Series, at first glance, can look a bit gray. That is intentional. That is excellent for toning out red tones. It's also really great for our male clients who want to add a little pepper into their salt and pepper, but they don't want it to look super obvious. And we don't want to have warm show up in their hair because then everyone will know they've colored their hair. So this is great to use with a demi-developer. Just kind of run it through their hair and add a little bit of darkness back in. So that is our color series all the way around. You've got your accents, you have your collections, your series here. And remember, always keep the swatch book handy. You want your natural pigment chart, you want your color wheel, and you want all of these swatches right where you can see them so you can formulate properly.